Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have with us a very special guest, Mr. Ghungarde Shubham Dattatre, who has been recommended for SSC Tech 64th course from 18th SSB Prayagraj. Jai Hind, sir. First of all, congratulations. You are about to don the OG, which all of us dream of doing. So best of luck for your future endeavors. Sir, please tell us a bit about yourself and enlighten us on your journey from the boy who dreamt of wearing the uniform to the man that is going to wear it.
So good evening, everyone. Myself, Ghungarde Shubham Dattatre. I am from Chas village of Ahmednagar district, which comes in Maharashtra. I have completed my pre-primary, primary, secondary, and higher secondary education from Ahmednagar only. The name of the city has been changed to Nagar recently. Then I shifted to Pune for my graduation in civil engineering and post-graduation in ME structures. My hobbies and interests are trekking, traveling, reading, singing, playing sports, and swimming. I would like to highlight the journey which I started in 12th, I would say. My first attempt was 10 plus 2 BTech entry, which was a naval entry after my 12th. So over the years of graduation and my post-graduation, I have given total 8 attempts for joining the defense forces. So this was my first attempt, that is 10 plus 2 BTech entry. The second attempt was I gave during my last year of the graduation. It was of SSC pilot. It was also a naval entry. I got screened out there. So in the first entry and second entry, I consecutively screened out for 2 times. Then my third attempt was in Bhopal, that is 20 SSB. It was for SSC Tech 59. That was the first time I got screened in, but unfortunately I got conferenced out later after 5 days. And then later on in my fourth and fifth attempt, I gave both the naval entries, that is for pilot in 12 SSB Bangalore. I also got conferenced out from there. So far I have given 2 screen outs, then 3 consecutively conference outs. Then my 6th attempt was in Jalandhar, that is for TGC 140. I got screened out there. And my 7th attempt was in SSC, was for SSC ATC, that is for air traffic controller, which was also a naval entry from Kolkata. I got screened out there. And finally, in the 8th attempt, which was for SSC Tech 64, which was in 18 SSB Prayagraj, I got screened in, and finally I got recommended. So this was my journey over the course of, I'll say, 6 years and for 8 attempts. Tejas.
Thank you, sir. That was really inspiring. Sir, kindly tell us what motivated you to join the defense forces, and please tell us which entry scheme you have chosen to get inducted into the military. Please tell us about it.
Okay, Tejas. Talking about my motivation, even I answer this question to the interviewing officer in the same way in my personal interview, that once I listened to respected late CDS General Bipin Rawat that army is not just a job, it's a way of life. So if as an officer I would be able to serve the nation as a contribute in a wartime operation or any peacetime operation or any natural disaster relief operation, or just stay an officer and contribute to the overall national security and integrity, in the end, I would say that I have lived my life. So this was the basically motivation behind me joining the defense forces or aspiring for the defense force. And
yes, sir.
The second part of the question, I guess you ask about the recent entry, which for which I got recommended. So this was the army entry of SSC Tech 59, sorry, SSC Tech 64. I got shortlisted. My branch is civil engineering, so usually, as compared to other branches, the cutoff was less. And every time I get shortlisted for these TGC and SSC Tech entries, I have reasonable good marks in the academics. So yeah, this was the entry, SSC Tech 64.
Thank you, sir. Sir, please tell us about your past SSB experiences and tell us the changes that you made in yourself to finally get recommended from Prayagraj. And also, please advise us aspirants who also have our SSBs lined up in the future.
Okay, sure, Tejas. As I have told you before about my all entries, wherever I attempted on the different boards of the defense forces, right from the first, I would say my first attempt, I was a new one to the SSB. I didn't knew anything about the process of the SSB. So I just went blank after my 12th to the SSB and got screened out. Then I researched about the things, what I can do, how can I prepare. In my last year of graduation, I joined this No Frills Academy. Colonel Nehru and Sir's video were all over on my Instagram feed. I used to watch them a lot. They used to attract me a lot. So I joined this academy as my first class. Then I got a group to practice. I understood all the tests, what are actually tests which are conducted in the SSB in both stages, that is stage 1 and stage 2. I would say Tejas, the guidance book was the practical book. That is the practical guide to become an officer. In that book, everything is written in detail. I used to carry that book in all my attempts. I have got the basic idea of the SSB from that book only. Then I have practiced a lot. I used to read newspaper for my improvements. So over the course, as I was giving my attempts, I felt that my GTO tasks were going really good. I'm performing well in that. But in certain sections, such as in my personal interview and my psychological test, I can improve. So for my personal interview, I was lacking in general awareness. Even when I joined the NFA, first personal interview was taken by the sir. Sir clearly told me that you have good technical knowledge of your branch, but there are certain things that you need to work upon. That is the general awareness, that is GK. So I started reading newspaper for that. We also take some readings of the article. If you surely know that in our NFA on our groups, I used to participate in that. So steadily I improved my general knowledge also. So I feel that in this way I prepared, and finally I feel that this was my best attempt which I gave for the SSB.
Sir, also, what advice would you give to us aspirants जिनके SSB future में lined up हैं?
Okay, what I would say, as per my knowledge, according to me, just be yourself. I just like to say that the person, whoever you are, outside the SSB center and inside the SSB center should be the same. It should not happen that you are some kind of personality, having some kind of personality outside, and as soon as you step into that center, your personality suddenly changes. It doesn't work that way, according to me. As sir have also said before, that if you will master your daily routine, that is, if you're doing your day-to-day life, you're living day-to-day life in a good way, working reasonably early morning, then lining up your day. Even for our personal interviews, sir will take your daily routine, time-wise daily routine. I feel that is taken for the same reason only. If you live your day-to-day life good, work upon your things, whatever attempts you have given before, you must have analyzed those things, the things which you are lacking in, the things in which you have performed really well. So I feel that the aspirants whose interviews are lined up in the future, I just want to say that just be yourself. If you think that this is the thing in which you are lacking, that is the general knowledge, let's say, then work on that. Let's say your story writing, you feel that the structure is not really good. You can work upon that. You can practice that. So the advice would be master your day-to-day routine. That's the only thing I would say, Tejas. Live a good life.
Thank you, and sure, sir. Sir, now please kindly brief us on your SSB experience itself, right from the screening part and ending at the conference table.
Okay, surely, Tejas. I'll start from the screening test. So Prayagraj is the first attempt. I was having my first attempt in the Prayagraj, and everyone knows that the SSB Prayagraj, that is selection center, is the oldest and the largest center. So I was excited to go there. When I went there, there were so much of preparation was going on, Kumbh Mela. So it was a really, really great experience for me that I went there during that time of the year. Then on the reporting day, usually the reporting starts at 6 a.m. But I am that kind of person who reached there at 5:30 only. So usually at every SSB center, I used to be a person who reached there for between first 5 peoples. So I used to go there. Total 68 candidates were reported on that day. So our documentation was done. Then we were taken to the breakfast. Then we were arranged in a Vikram Batra hall. We started off with our OIRs, that is Officers Intelligence Rating Test. Everyone is aware of that. So usually this OIR test really went good. I don't feel any difficulty in that. In fact, I used to solve them 5 to 10 minutes prior the finishing time. So OIR really went good. Then the second part was PPTT, that is picture perception and discussion test. In this test, this time the picture was of army background. Mountainous region was there. Some three soldiers were sitting in front of the ground and having guns in that. So I prepared an story which was basically related to the training of soldiers. Officer was there, lieutenant was there, completed his training and was conducting a drill. So I prepared that kind of story. Then we were divided in groups and an individual narration happened. As usual, my individual narration also goes smooth and calm. This time also it went good. And in the discussion part, I was not able to participate much, but I feel that 2-3 points which I gave were valid and were okay. So in this way, I got screened in. Out of 68, total 38 people were screened in. And then our documentation was done, which was lasted for almost 5 to 6 hours. So it went right till night. That is almost 9 p.m. were there. Then on the second day, that is day 2, the psychological test happens. That is TAT, VAT, SRT, and SD. The TAT stories I written were, this time I feel I written good in a good manner, which were correlating with the picture. The 12th story I was prepared with it. Then the VAT were word association test. I didn't skip any word. I wrote all the words, all 60 words. Then SRTs, I attempted 53 SRT stages. I left with 7. I always attempt more than 50, always in each and every attempt. I feel the quality of SRTs was good this time. And SD, I was prepared with the SD, that is those 5 questions. So I written all those in a good manner. And then that day only I was for the interview, that is the personal interview. We were sat there for almost 2 hours, but the interview didn't happen. So we were sent back to our accommodation. Then the next day, that is day 3, that is the GTO day 1. We reported to the ground. First, the group discussion happened. There were 2 topics, as you all are aware, 2 discussions for 20 minutes. I participated good I gave 2-3 points, but I didn't participate much in the group discussion, I feel. I could have participated more. Then the GPE was there, that is group planning exercise. My written plan was good as it is written in the book only, that is the practical guide. You should impart the distance and time thing that I learned from that book. I did that. Then after the GP, there was the PGT and HGT, the progressive group task and half group task. I performed good, I feel. I have given ideas, but I didn't overdid it because I was part of the repeaters group, the hardcore repeaters group. So they were more of very aggressive in that thing. They were leading, like shouting. So I decided that I just participate reasonable. I give good ideas. If group is stuck anywhere, I just give good ideas and cooperate with the group. So that was the thing I did. Then the half group task was there. And in that task, I led from the front and tried to give ideas, solve the task in good time. Then the last task of the day was the lecturate. Everyone's lecturate went good. After 4 tasks, I feel that I chose the easiest topic, that is the ICC Cricket World Cup. In my hobby, the cricket is there. So I feel that I have a reasonable good amount of knowledge about that topic. So I gave fair amount of information through that lecturate in that 3 minutes. Now the test were of day 3 were over, and right after that test, I was taken to the interview in GTO dress home. So of that day, that was the first interview of that day, which lasted for around 30 minutes. Everyone's interview lasted for 30 minutes except for one candidate who's lasted for 1 hour. In my personal interview, sir asked me about basically my life. That is 60 to 70% of interview lasted based on my PIQ. That is my family background. Then actually, sir started the interview directly from the CIQ. They didn't ask me about my introduction or anything like that. So they directly asked the CIQ consisting of 5 questions. Then again, after that 5 questions, they asked me another CIQ of 3 questions and another CIQ of 3 questions. So it was like 5, 3, 3. Out of first 5, I gave the answer of 4 questions, and the subsequently the 3 and 3, I gave all answers of them. Then sir asked me about my motivation to join the army. So as I told before, that was the answer which I gave to the interviewing officer. Then moving ahead, sir asked me about what are the basic battalions or regiments. Tell me the names of that. Sir asked me about the ranks of the Indian Air Force officials, right from the non-commissioned officer to the commissioned officers, like that. Sir asked me about the acquisitions of the Indian Air Force. So basically, this was the army entry, but sir asked me about the Air Force. I gave a reasonable amount of information to that question. Then, sir, asked me about my previous examinations, that which examinations I gave, why I was not able to clear it. Did you face any difficulty in the academics? So I said that my academics was good. I performed well and consistently in that. Sir asked me about why you want to become officer only. You can serve the nation as a soldier or as Agniveer. So in that moment, I just gave the answer like, sir, I feel that I have that capability to become an officer. During that time, I felt that it was an arrogant answer, but I think that sir taken that in a good way. I could have said that as an officer, as an engineer in the army, I can give my ideas in the infrastructure construction or anything like that. But I directly said just the one line that, sir, I believe that I have that capability to become an officer. So this was the personal interview which was done. Then after the day 4, that is GTO day 2, 3 tasks were conducted. First was the individual obstacle, the second was the command task, and third was the final group task. In the individual obstacle, I usually do 10 plus. That is, out of 10 tasks, I usually repeat 2 tasks. That is 12 tasks. But this time I was not able to attempt or repeat the task. I completed 9 tasks. So I started from the rope climbing, that is of 10 points, then of Tarzan swing, then the balancing beam, because I know that in the end, the balancing beam doesn't work good because our body is not that much stable. So I tried to attempt it in the first attempt only. Then I completed all the tasks within requisite time. In fact, I completed 9 tasks. I just left one task, that is double barrel jump, which was having just single point, that is 1 mark. I left that task only. Then the command task, which was the most interesting part of this, I feel that the GTO task, because I feel that that task was really good. So sir invited me, sir had a talk with me, sir asked me about my previous interviews, what went wrong, what you are prepared in a good way this time. And they took me a center place. So a circle was having a to the center of that circle, a chair was there, a slight of bomb-like structure was there below that structure, seat. So sir gave me a situation that you are captured by terrorists and they have tied you to the center chair. There is a bomb placed at you below the chair and you have less time. The time is running out. Your subordinates, you will stand at the outside of the ring. You can give the commands and you can call them. As soon as the one subordinate comes to your place, you can stand up and start continuing. So I called upon the subordinates. I gave the first solution within 5 seconds only. So sir altered the structure. That is the entry point which were there. Sir uprooted one of the U-shaped structure. Then I gave another solution to that. Then sir said that that solution is stable, but I want another solution from you. So there was a rotating arm was there. I got stuck there for some time. But sir gave me a hint. So I shouted, not shouted. I clearly told my subordinates that this is the way we can done. Then the one subordinate came to me. Then I stand up. Then if from the central part, I was allowed to go from one exit only. There were 3 points. Out of those 3 points, I was allowed to go in the one direction only. I gave the solution in clear way. Then sir also created a situation that the fulcrum which was there, it is broken. Now give me the solution. Then using one rope, I solved that task also. And the exit point also, sir broke 2-3 structures. So in this way, I feel that the command task was the most interesting task, although I performed good in other tasks. And the day 4 was ended with the final group task. That is, I didn't try to overdo perform over in task. I just gave some ideas which were there at that point where the group was stuck. So this was the day 4. I think in the GTO task, I missed the GOR, that is group obstacle race. So it was out of 4 groups, our group performed really well. We won that group obstacle race. So I performed reasonably good in GOR also. And in the last day, that is conference. So one by one, we were taken to the conference. My waiting time, I feel, was little bit more. That is 8 to 10 minutes as compared to the other candidates. And after the result, out of 38 people, 6 people were recommended. This was my experience.
Thank you so much, sir. And I have another question, sir. Is the bonding amongst SSB mates, does it play any factor in a candidate's performance?
Tejas, I feel that yes, bonding does play an important role in the performance in the SSB task. But if we see that out of 3 assessment or 3 tasks, that is the psychological test and the personal interview are individual tasks. You need to perform on your own only. In interview or in conference, you may get an ask a question like, "Did you made any friends here?" So that bonding comes out there only. You can make use of that bonding there. And in the GTO task, yes, it might be of use. That is the in command task also. Your friends can call you as a subordinate, or in other obstacle tasks, your friends might listen to your ideas, the ideas which you are giving. So it does surely make an impact, but up to a certain level, I feel. So it's not like that in those 5 days you should only hang out with your friends or do chit chat and all that things. So I feel that you should get mixed with them, but you should also do your preparation. That is the revision and all of your notes, your study, things like that. So it does play a role, but up to a certain point, I feel.
Thank you so much, sir. And sir, candidates who don't get recommended, they often look back and say that I didn't get recommended because of XYZ mistake. So what is your comment on that from your experiences?
Okay, Tejas. So I feel that personal assessment is really okay if you are getting recommended, not getting recommended, or getting screened out. You should think that what were the things in which you were lacking. कहाँ कम पड़ रहे थे वो आपको श्योरली एसेस करना चाहिए. एक बहुत अच्छी बात है वो. लेकिन मतलब मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि not only after interview, in between those days only candidates start thinking that my performance in this task was not good. I'm not getting recommended. I didn't perform well in the GD. I'm not getting recommended. I have listened people saying that only. I feel that you are getting assessed right from the first day till you step out of that conference room. I feel that you should carry yourself. Tejas, actually, I treat this SSB as a test match only. I really love cricket. That is the 5 days of the test match and 5 days of the SSB interview. So it's not like that every session you will win every session of the test match or you will perform really good in every task of the SSB. As long as you are forgetting your performance in the previous task and focusing on the next task, then only you will win the test match. Then I feel then only you will perform in the upcoming task. So surely I feel that it is good to assess the things in which you can improve or you felt that you were lacking in.
Sure, sir. Self-assessment is definitely very necessary. And sir, lastly, sir, please tell us when and why you joined the No Frills Academy, and tell us about the impact that NFA and Col Nehru sir both played on your SSB journey.
Surely, Tejas, I feel that it was really a good decision to join the NFA because I used to watch a lot of videos of Colonel Nehru sir on Instagram. They were all were there on my Instagram feed, and I really get to connect with the sir's way of talking or sir's. Uh, I really got to connect with the sir at the first point only, and at that point only, I decided that I'll join the No Frills Academy. So after joining the things, as I told before, I got a group in which I performed. I didn't had any defense background, so I was not having any kind of live exposure in the defense. My father were a teacher, is a teacher right now. Then after joining the academy, I performed in different tasks. I participated in the group. I also coordinated one of the group. I took activities. I prepared some PPTs on the GTO task in which we participated as a group. After the discussion, actually, after all the tasks were done in every meeting, we casually talk for 10 to 15 minutes. Like after PPT, then we casually talk. After GPs, then we casually talk. That casual talk was really helpful in me. helpful towards me, because people give good ideas in those casual talk, not during the actual task, but जब हम कैजुअली बातें करते हैं सारी टेस्ट होने के बाद ना, तब अच्छे से डिस्कशन हो पाता है. वो डिस्कशन मुझे काफी हेल्पफुल रहा, ऐसा कहूंगा मैं. So surely, Colonel Nehru sir and NFA was a great decision in my life, I would say. I decided to take part or to join the No Frills Academy. And the most important thing is that book, The Practical Guide to Become an Officer. I always carry only 3 books with myself during any SSB. That is the Leadership Learnings from Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Then the next book is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And third book is The Practical Guide to Become an Officer by Colonel M.M. Nehru. I have read each and every page of that book again and again and again. The guidelines which are given in that book are really helpful to me. So I feel that, yes, this was my time with NFA was really good.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sure we have all been very inspired by your success. And if anybody has any doubts, please, I'd ask you to please speak up.
We want Nehru sir to first.
Oh, sure, ma'am. Please, Colonel sir.
Thanks a lot, Tejas. Thanks, Shubham, for sharing your candid experiences.
Thank you, sir.
As you were talking, Shubham, I noticed that you were totally, unaffected by the scarcity mentality which exists in a very, in a very predominant manner in our society. So,
Right.
were you like this always, or you consciously got out of this mentality?
So clearly, sir, there is a essay which is written in our book only, that is scarcity mentality versus abundant mentality. This thing was there. I feel that I was like this from the starting, but I was having one thing in my mind, that if I look a lot about my things which in which I have not performed well, or I'm not good at, it will not be good. If I just hold on to that, अगर मैं उस पे ही अटका रहूंगा तो आगे वाली चीजों पे मैं फोकस नहीं कर पाऊंगा. So मैं just जो टास्क मेरे हैंड में है उस पे फोकस करता था. So I didn't had that scarcity mentality right from before. So.
Okay, that is very good, because I noticed that even when you are describing you're narrating your entire experiences, you are unaffected by that. और अभी भी SSC Tech में reporting कितना था?
So 68 people were there only, sir.
अच्छा,
The
कम था
reporting is
reporting
reducing.
अच्छा, कम हो गया.
Yes, sir.
तो कितना screening, कितना 24-25 किया?
38, sir, out of 68.
Oh, 38 were screened in.
Yes, sir. Right.
Oh, that's a tremendous rate of.
Yeah, it was a good number.
अच्छा, okay, that is good. Fine. अच्छा, ये बताओ मुझे कि जो था when you joined up with us, was your
Yes, sir.
mindset कि मेरी बात बन जाएगी, या डाउट था कि हो सकता है नहीं भी हो सकता है, क्या था in your mind?
सर एक्चुअली जब मैं पहली बार कॉन्फ्रेंस आउट हुआ था भोपाल से, तब मुझे लगा था कि यार ये एक ऐसी चीज है जो मैं कर सकता हूँ, मतलब आई कैन क्लियर दिस थिंग. बट मुझे एक अच्छे गाइडेंस की जरूरत है. मतलब जो सारी चीजें एक्चुअली में होती है, वो सारी चीजें एक्चुअली कैसे होती है, मतलब क्या एक्सपेक्टेड है एसएसएस को. तो उसके लिए मैंने नो फ्रिल्स एकेडमी ज्वाइन किया था. तब तक मुझे कोई भी टास्क के बारे में कुछ ज्यादा आइडिया नहीं था कि एक्चुअली व्हाट इन विच वे इट इज डन. सो एनएफए ज्वाइन करने के बाद सर हर टास्क के बारे में मुझे सारी चीजें पता चली कि एक्चुअली होता क्या है, क्या असेसमेंट है. वो बुक पढ़ने के बाद मुझे अच्छे से पता चला सर.
पर दोस्तों से, दूसरों से जो इंटरेक्ट करते हो, बहुत मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन तो बहुत ही ज्यादा है, तो उसका
जी सर.
इन्फ्लुएंस कितना था, और उस इन्फ्लुएंस को कैसे आपने क्लटर को हटाया अपने दिमाग से?
यस सर. आप हमेशा से सर शुरुआत से मिथ्स के बारे में बहुत ज्यादा बातें करते हैं. एसएसबी के बारे में आपने बुक में भी वो लिखा है, और प्रीवियस और बहुत सारे वीडियोस में भी आप सोशल मीडिया पे एसएसबी के मिथ्स के बारे में बात करते हैं. सो जो आपने वैसा लिखा था ना, वो आई वाज क्लियरली अग्रीइंग विद देम. जब भी मैंने पढ़ा तो मुझे रिलेट हुआ कि हाँ, ये चीज बिल्कुल इसी वे में होनी चाहिए, ना कि इस वे में। ये एक मिथ है और दिस इज अ गुड वे। सो यस, जो सारे स्टूडेंट्स थे या फिर मेरे फ्रेंड्स थे, उनके बारे में से कुछ कुछ चीजें आती थी कि हाँ, इस जीपी में ऐसा कुछ नहीं बोलना चाहिए, या फिर जीपी का जो कॉमन नरेशन प्लान है, उस वो नरेट होने के बाद आपकी कोई आइडियाज नहीं देनी चाहिए, कोई सजेशन नहीं देना चाहिए कि ये गलती हुई है। आपने हमारे बुक में भी एक क्लियरली रिटन लिखा है सर, द आईओ और द जीटीओ हैव कंसिडर योर प्लानिंग एबिलिटीज एज पुअर एज द प्लान विच इज नरेटेड बाय द कॉमन नरेशन प्लान। सो वो चीज मेरे दिमाग में थी कि ये प्रॉब्लम्स है जो कॉमन प्लान नरेट किया है हमारे एक बंदे ने। तो मैंने उधर जीपी के टास्क में भी क्लियरली बताया था कि सर, द डिस्टेंस इज मिसकैलकुलेटेड और देर इज नो नेसेसिटी ऑफ सॉल्विंग दिस टास्क। सो वो चीज मेरे दिमाग में थी कि ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है कि कॉमन प्लान को आप चैलेंज ना करो। आपको अगर वहाँ पे गलती लगी है तो आप बताओ क्लियरली सर को।
हाँ, ये बड़ी अच्छी बात आपने बताई। एक्चुअली क्या है, पॉपुलर थिंकिंग ये है कि अगर आप जो के कमांडर नॉमिनेट हुआ है कॉमन प्लान बनाने
जी
के बताने के लिए, उससे अगर आप
जी
डिसएग्री करते हैं तो ये डिसलॉयल्टी हो गई।
जी सर, बिल्कुल।
दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंग इज देयर, whereas I am
यस
very much convinced that it is not disloyalty because it's your ग्रुप को अच्छी दिशा में ले जाना हमारी जिम्मेवारी है।
जी सर,
So
राइट।
it is good that this idea you agreed with and you stuck with it. That continues
यस
to be my idea. Though once again, I mean, so many of my ideas do not have popular resonance with the society. But anyway,
यस
I feel sane people should agree with that.
यस, आई नो दैट।
है ना? So
बट आई
okay.
फील दैट आई शुड से द थिंग्स।
Yes, yes. नहीं, लॉजिक है ना उसकी। भाई
जी
अगर
सर।
नो फ्रिल्स एकेडमी गलत दिशा में जा रही है तो उसमें शुभम आपका भी तो योगदान है। आप भी तो स्टेक होल्डर हो नो फ्रिल्स एकेडमी में।
जी सर, बिल्कुल सही सर।
लाइक आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर फर्स्ट टाइम व्हेन आई बिकेम अ कंपनी कमांडर, दैट वाज वे बैक इन 1991। एंड
यस सर।
जब मैंने अपने पूरे जवानों को एड्रेस किया, अबाउट 120 और सो ऑफ देम, तो मैंने उन्हें कहा देखो, अब जो है ना, सरकार ने मेरे इधर शेर का निशान तो लगा दिया है, तो अब आप बेवकूफी के ऑर्डर पास करने की तो अथॉरिटी मिल चुकी है मुझे, ठीक है ना? पर तुम्हारी जिम्मेवारी है खालसो कि मुझे बेवकूफी का ऑर्डर मत चलाने दो, क्योंकि उसमें
जी
हिस्सेदार
सर,
आप ही हो।
बिल्कुल सर।
And actually, I'm so happy. But looking back at my command of companies started in 91 and various command stages that I experienced, that people
यस
actually believed me. नहीं तो क्या
यस
होता
सर।
है, लोग सोचते हैं कि ये बोलने के लिए बोल रहा है, और ज्यादा लोग बोलते भी बोलने के लिए ही हैं।
जी
तो
सर।
वो बात सुनते नहीं है, लेकिन मैं बात सुनता था उनकी।
जी सर,
मैं उनकी
बिल्कुल।
बात सुनता था और उनसे बहुत फायदा हुआ। मैं बटालियन जब मैंने कमांड किए, मुझे कितने ही अच्छे आइडियाज जिन पे हम काम कर पाए, वो नायब सूबेदार, हवलदार, नायक, इन लोगों से मिले थे।
जी, बिल्कुल
क्योंकि
सर,
यार
बिल्कुल।
800 से ऊपर लोग हैं यार, उनके पास आइडिया है।
जी सर,
कमांड तो मेरे को
अग्री
दे
विद
दिया,
सर।
ठीक है, नेहरू बन गया सीईओ, बन गया तो बन गया, ये थोड़ी है ये सारा भेजा इधर ही ले लगाना है। So this is
अग्री सर।
just thoughts for future also. When you are in command, you will find that there are people having a lot of experience and knowledge. And when you people join your respective units, must learn a lot from your subordinates because they have more experience.
एब्सोल्युटली राइट।
You must learn a lot from
राइट।
them. Must learn a lot from them.
यस
उनकी आप इज्जत करोगे, उनकी बात सुनोगे, वो ना आपको बहुत अच्छे आइडिया देंगे और बहुत
यस सर,
सही तरह से समझाएंगे।
दे नो द एक्चुअल ग्राउंड रियलिटीज।
या टू द एक्सटेंट दैट दे फील लाइक मेरा सूबेदार मेजर ने तो मेरे को पकड़ा हुआ है पीछे से। There was one Colonel Saab, he said that has some connection with the Lieutenant General. And my Subedar Major realized कि मैं मार दूंगा अब इसको. जब इसने मेरे को दर्दनाक he came and held me from behind. बोला साहब रुक जाओ. बोला नहीं साहब रुक जाओ. उसने बोला ये अभी कर्नल डैनियल को लगाएगा अभी नेहरू. कनेक्शन क्या दिखा रहा है मुझे डर. Anyway, that is how life is. So very nice, Shubham.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing your experience and
Thank you so much, sir.
confidence and self-belief in your consistent improvement. Please keep doing this for life. That's how life is. Life is a journey. जो practical guide में चीजें लिखी गई हैं, then nothing is not just about SSB.
Yes, sir. It's about life, sir. Right, sir.
It's about life. So, you imbibed the basic things, ideology which is proposed there. So good.
Yes, sir.
You become as much a promoter of the ideas of No Frills Academy as I am. So हम एक साथ ही हैं.
Sure, sir. To every person, sir. To every person I have met in the SSB or outside of SSB, I have suggested that book. Just buy that book or join the No Frills Academy and read every line and word of that book. It surely guide you in a right way. I feel. I have told that thing.
अच्छा, अब थोड़ा ये बताओ, आपके पेरेंट्स का पर्सपेक्टिव क्या था आपके बारे में? हो जाएगा, नहीं होगा, कैसे उनको लगना शुरू हुआ कि अब हो सकता है? What kind of thing is there? Just share those thoughts.
Actually, the first thing is my parents were teachers, sir. So they were not having any army background or thing like that. So to be honest, my father were not that happy that I was trying to prepare for the armed forces or become officer in the armed forces. They said that there is no thing to go in that direction. You can get a good class 1 officer job in your state or in the country. Why you're going in that direction? But I was clear with my mind that this is the thing I wanted to do. So as I started giving my attempts, but they were pushing me also that yes, if you want to go in that direction, no problem, I will back you. So from my first attempt also, Visakhapatnam was way too far away from my place. They took me to that Visakhapatnam and the interview was done. After every interview, they were talking with me, right? They knew that I can clear this interview by the way of my talking or by the way of my performance in my academics. Right from the childhood, I would say that I was the topper of the class. And there was also a myth or a misconception that the toppers were not selected in the Indian Army or in the defense forces. So they don't clear the SSB interview. But I kept aside all those thoughts and just focused that yes, I can do this thing or I can clear this SSB interview. So over the years, their perception towards me started changing as the attempts were increasing. I was giving more and more, 4, 5, 6, 7 attempts. They started feeling that थोड़ा सा प्लान हो जाता है, ये सारी चीजें मैनेजेबल है, सिर्फ फौजी बंदों के लड़के लेते हैं या फिर चीजें मैनेज होती है. लेकिन मैंने उनको क्लियरली कहा कि मेरे हिसाब से ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. अगर मेरा फौजी बैकग्राउंड नहीं है तो ऐसा नहीं कि मैं एक फौजी बन नहीं सकता. So I clearly told them. They backed me. Just they provided me whatever the financial support or moral support that was required. So right now only my parents are not that happy by me joining the defense forces, but they are happy up to a certain level that I have become an officer and I have achieved whatever I wanted. This was the thing, sir.
Thanks a lot, Shubham. I have nothing
you,
more to add or ask. Thanks a lot for believing in yourself, believing in the process, having faith in
Yes,
it,
sir.
in your attitude, the teachings of No Frills Academy, your group members. So you are an inspiration to all of us, also your family.
Thank you so much, sir.
बहुत बढ़िया है, and I have nothing more to ask. You are open to questions from others. Please go ahead, ask your questions.